Good morning, everyone. I'd like to thank Ali and the Soufan Center for inviting me here. I hope you are signing up for our tours, which will be today at noon and at 5:30 today, and then tomorrow at noon and 5. When I started working with the original team that planned the museum in 2005, it was inconceivable to us that we would be making a museum for people who did not remember 9/11. And now, 24 years later, as of Thursday, more than 100 million Americans have been born since 9/11. Following this from the perspective of the museum, our work not only has been transformed, but it has been enlarged. Because the lessons of those days, as we have heard repeatedly this morning, are not only as relevant as they were, they are perhaps more relevant than they were. And that's particularly because the passage of time puts new people, young people, in the position of defending and protecting us who may not know all the reasons why that's so important. And we have taken that on in terms of meeting this new audience of young Americans and others from around the world, in terms of meeting them where they need to be met to learn this story. If any of you remember the extraordinary film 9/11 made by the two French filmmakers, the Naudet brothers, they were coincidentally making a documentary about a probationary firefighter at the Duane Street Firehouse just north of here, Engine 7, Ladder 1, Battalion 1. And somehow those two filmmakers were caught up in the day and made this extraordinary film. Well, it turns out I just learned that every member of that company, of those companies, I should say, who was in the firehouse that day, they're all now retired. The probationary firefighter who was the focus of the film retired as a lieutenant in the FDNY. And so the generations change, but the needs increase. And that's what we are trying to meet. We are now doing programs formally as part of the training of all the agencies you've heard about today. The FDNY, the NYPD, the PAPD, those young recruits are now coming to the museum not just for the tour, the kind you will get, but for specifically tailored programs that tell them the story. And the reason that's so important is because, as my friend Reed Rowe, FBI agent, said when he speaks to the FBI classes at the museum, to do this work, you need to know your why. And for those of you who've been part of the fight for years, you know your why. But for the young people who are joining the fight, we are the place where the why can be sharpened and defined for you. So I ask you all to think, in terms of the agencies you represent or the organizations you're with, to think about how you can work with us, how we can help you in reinforcing the why for the young people who are coming into your ranks and taking on this fight. We're not a political organization. We are a museum that welcomes the world. We welcomed more than 90 million people to the memorial since it opened on the 10th anniversary. More than 26 million people in the museum since it opened in May of 2014. As I said before, we thought we had the audience we knew, but that audience is now much larger, much more important for the future of this country, for the future of the fight, for the future of the world, and we are here to work with you and help. So please, for those of you who are taking the tours, enjoy yourself. Come see me or any of my colleagues here if you'd like to think about a program we can work with you on. Thank you.